Yo! Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? How are we doing today? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you are all doing well. Good in the hood. Let's fucking go. Who's here? Who's here today? We have Farson Vilehand. How you doing? Hello, Ilkan. Hello, Vepelier. Hello, Wheel Skeleton. Hello, Ultima Founded. Hello, Dark Raccoon. And hello, Shingetsu Nazuka. How are we doing, guys? Yes, today, I didn't think I'd be able to actually stream today. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to stream today because I had to run across the city to go sign some papers, and I wasn't sure I'd be able to get it back in time. But I did. I did. Thank you. And my daughter watched Nightmine's Halloween Candy Bowl. She's really into horror stuff for 9. Good lord. I really like Nick Nightmind. He's one of the GOATs, right? Undeniable. But I think he has a little bit of a problem where some of his stuff I kind of don't understand. Like, I don't know. I've watched a bunch of his videos, like all the sub stuff like that. And there's, what is it, Cabin Fever Dreams? I don't know what it is. I don't know. Like, I'm still not sure what this means. Exactly. And I think he has a little bit of a problem where he doesn't explain it, even for people. I should know. I've watched every single one of his fucking videos, but I don't. Zuma Caligura stream when? Oh man, that's been a while. I don't know if I still have those files somewhere. I'm watching the Wreck series. What's that one again? Wreck movies. Oh, that's the kind of useless movies. Yes, I remember watching the very first one in the Spanish version. That was so good. I heard the. Hang on, let me get the mic. There we go. That's a bit better. I heard that the like English language remakes weren't very good, but I don't know. I did bother watching them. The first one was great though. Wreck is good fan footage. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's great. Handheld cameras. I actually filmed it with that. That's awesome. Hey, Pernicious Axolotl making boba tea. Ooh. You know, I think boba tea might just be a girly drink. I've tried it and I couldn't get into it. Really like the Michele hitting metal videos. I haven't watched them. What should we watch today? I didn't think I was going to be able to stream today, so I kind of didn't plan anything, but now we're actually here, so I guess I should. I guess we should watch something. No plans, exactly. And tomorrow I will definitely not be able to stream. I have a family thing on have a family event on that I can't miss, so I won't be able to stream. I might, I don't know. I'll try and make up for it, but we'll see how we go. Boba 2 is more fun for me when I realize you can blowgun the pearls at people. No way. What a good creepypasta. Ooh, maybe we should. It's got a classic creepypasta. Does Chainsaw Man count as horror? We can talk about Chainsaw Man a little bit. I watched a Chainsaw Man movie. That was really good. I didn't remember anything about the series, but you remember enough going into it. it kind of, you don't need to remember that much. NES Godzilla is SS tier creepypasta. I've tried reading it like once. Creepy. How long is it? Maybe we could do that. That might be fun. Solemn of All Saints. What is that? I need to switch back to Google. This is crazy. Because I changed my... Because I'm on Chrome, and I changed... When I use that for streaming, but I changed to... to DuckDuckGo, so it would stop showing all my fucking old searches in there that, like, docks my location. But then DuckDuckGo is just not finding any of the stuff that I wanted to find. Here we go. Wikizilla? Watch the Reese movie? They said, yeah, I did. It was awesome. So good. I didn't have any expectation going in there, right? Because I don't look at any of the Chainsaw Man stuff online because, like, I wouldn't really care if I got spoiled, but I prefer not to, right? Because I'm just anime only. I'm not that worried about it. I enjoy it, but I'm not, like, you know, super into it. And I had no expectations going in, and man, I loved it. It was so good. Bog Leech. What is a Bog Leech forum? NES Godzilla creepypasta. We can have a look at that. How long is it? How do we go to the next chapter? I want to see the... Oh, Bog Leech, that guy. I remember his, he was doing that comic, fuck, what was it called? Like, something... Hospital? Awful Hospital. I don't know, I didn't finish it. I stopped reading before it actually finished, but... I don't know if it... I guess it ended, maybe? Has it ended? No, it hasn't ended. Ha! No, wait, maybe. I'm just scrolling down. Yeah, no, it does look like it ended. Okay. Maybe I should finally read that then. I remember enjoying it at the time, but it's been... Geez, so long. But CGI in it. I remember watching the anime, but anime with CGI as a deal breaker for me. The CGI was not that bad in the series. It wasn't. The fights still look good, but in the movie, as far as I'm aware, there wasn't any CGI. It was all hand-drawn. If it was CGI, then it was really fucking good CGI, because it all looked hand-drawn, so... Working on a TTRPG module based around burger entries by Bogleach. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Burger entries, creepypasta. Creepypasta. Is it actually like good creepypasta or like jerky creepypasta? Don't know if any of this is going to get through to anyone. If it does, it's probably because they wanted it to. In which case, I'm really sorry. Maybe they just don't even care. Maybe it doesn't matter because there's nothing we can do. Kind of both. How long is it? And we can read this. We should just do a creepypasta reading day and just... Oh. Why is this not right? This Godzilla's like really long, isn't it? Man, this song's so good. This is the ending theme, one of the credits themes for No, I'm Not Human. Really good. Really good. Holy shit, ads. Right, I'm in Chrome. That's right. Go away. Ads make me want to fucking... No, I shouldn't say that. No, we shouldn't see that. We shouldn't say that. Yeah, okay. Let's go to the Creepypasta wiki and like just look around. Poke around. See what's happening. See what the ding dong dealio is. Okay. Let's, I don't know if we'll record anything for YouTube today. Maybe we'll just record talking about, just talking it through, you know. Why not? What do we say? We'll have to go to the introduction page, won't we? The close-up page. Here we go. All right, everybody say hello to YouTube. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Mythonics Live. Today, in lieu of... Because usually today we watch and react to analog horror, but I thought we'd do a little bit different today because it's actually Halloween today here in Australia. And what we're going to do instead is we're going to have a look through the Creepypasta wiki and read some of the entries and, you know, just poke around and see what's there. Maybe we'll read some classics, maybe we'll read some new stuff. Who knows? Who knows what we'll discover? Okay. Okay. On the Creepypasta wiki. Pasta of the month. And you get free ad space. There you go. There's drumming in the clouds. That sounds cool. Staff pick. August in Carthage. Banned in Seep. I kind of don't want to click that one. Writers Showcase. These pages are recently posted to our Writers Showcase where users can post stories in need of attention. Please consider reading through them and leaving some feedback. I kind of don't feel like giving feedback today. Okay. Well, let's see. How long is this one? Let's read this one. Holy hell. This is so bad. Go away. Yeah. Let's read this one. Drumming in the Clouds. Sounds cool. Written by Pitiful Scream 97. How old, if someone's born in 97, how old are they now? How old are they now then if they're born in 97? If you're born in 2000, then you're 25. Then plus 3, you'd be 28. 28-year-old writing creepypasta? Well, I guess. It's a different world now, isn't it? Keep thinking creepypasta is something that 13-year-olds write, but yeah, I guess not. I feel like a book cover and everything. That's cool. Okay. Let's go. There's drumming in the... Hang on, let me have a sip of water first. I was running around. I was running around in the heat today. Hit us with that Halloween joke, pernicious axolotl. Okay. There's Drumming in the Clouds, a short story by Pitiful Scream 97. Phase 1. Arrival. The photograph arrived without explanation. It showed some kind of mass, dark grey and pulsating. It was hovering far above the North Atlantic. It resembled a cyclone, but there was no eye of this storm, no rotation, just layers, like folds of gauze, stacked and suspended. The sky around it was eerily clear. That was the first impossibility. Why do witches hate their husbands? Why do witches hate their husbands? I don't know, why? Dr. Mayreed Finn saw the image at 6:32 a.m. It was forwarded to her personal account from an encrypted ministry server. The subject line read only, "Come in, immediately." Because of their hollow weenies? Hollow weenies. Like Halloween? I think this one's a bit above my pay grade. Dr. Finn arrived at the North Strand Climate Monitoring Facility before sunrise. The conference room was already full, unusual for a Wednesday. Technicians, military liaisons, 2 senior meteorologists and a man from the Department of Anomalous Phenomena, a department that, officially, didn't exist. No one spoke for the first 10 minutes. They just stared at the image projected on the main wall, a still frame from a weather satellite feed. Problem with CGI in anime is that when it's in the spotlight and part of the main action, the frame rate is often different from hand-drawn characters or has totally different lighting. Yeah, that's true. Usually it's pretty bad. I didn't think it was bad in Chainsaw Man, though. I've never seen a static formation of that altitude before, Mayreed said, her eyes locking on the impossible image. How high is this exactly? 68 kilometers, one of the technicians said, adjusting his glasses. She blinked. Mesosphere. Correct. This doesn't make any sense, she murmured to herself, irritated by confusion. One of the meteorologists stood. It's your job to make sense of it, Dr. Finn. When was it first reported? She responded, ignoring the man's tone. It's been there for 6 hours. It just showed up. The military liaison cleared his throat. Spotted by a satellite over the Atlantic. Cross-checked by a second pass. We thought it might be weapon debris. It's not. Civil flights are already diverting. Maritime routes too. On the monitors, numbers scrolled. Temperatures, wind speeds, strange depth readings. The mass wasn't moving. Winds tore at it at hundreds of kilometers per hour, but it didn't rotate, didn't shear, just remained impossibly still. It's not a weather event, the meteorologist declared with a shaky voice and worry in his eyes. Then what is it? Asked the liaison. No one had an answer. By noon, the world had seen it. Footage taken by a commercial pilot had gone viral. A band of dark mist stretching from horizon to horizon, bloated and heavy, blotting out the sun. It covered a region roughly the size of North America and appeared to be growing. The shadow the cloud cast was immeasurable. On a clear day, the light would dim like a solar eclipse. The sky turned a dull grey. Shadows vanished and birds fell silent. Some areas experienced perpetual dusk, the night imposing in its darkness. People on the ground began reporting changes. Strange static humming in their teeth. I have that anyway. Tension, headaches, and persistent low pressure in the ears. Yeah, that's just me in general. Online forums exploded. Hashtag the cloud trended within the hour. It's so goofy, I didn't expect you to stop reading it like that. Good morning, J-Ran. How you doing? Dr. Finn kept working. She had trained herself to remain clinical, methodical. Still, she couldn't shake the feeling that the air in the lab had grown stale. Something was very wrong. Not a single thinking brain on the planet could provide answers to the impossible situation. At exactly 9:43 p.m. GMT, the first sound was recorded. A low-frequency thump-thump, deep and distant. Then another, 2 hours apart. Then again, and again. Thunder? Someone offered. But the radar was clear. Not a single weather system for 1,000 kilometers. The thump came again, only minutes apart. May Reed sat perfectly still, headset on, watching the sound wave roll across the monitor. It wasn't thunder. It wasn't seismic. It was airborne, high above our heads. Jesus, whispered a young intern nearby. It's coming from inside the cloud. By midnight, it had settled into a rhythm, a slow, deep, drumming sound. Thump, 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 thump. Regular, relentless, as though something far, far above was knocking from the other side of the sky. Project Cerberus Vale, field journal entry. Dr. May Reed Finn, lead meteorologist, classified, level Omega. Day 1, 11:42 p.m. GMT. The cloud remains stationary. Its scale is beyond measurement. Its thick fog goes far beyond our atmosphere. The sound began tonight. Regular pulses, low frequency, origin unknown but triangulated within the formation. The collection of all data is incomplete at this time. Personal note. It is not weather. It is not man-made. We don't know what this is. Phase 2. The Sound of God. By morning, the drumming was heard across the entire northern hemisphere. It was no longer limited to the monitoring stations. People across Europe, the eastern United States, parts of Western Africa, and even as far as Argentina reported hearing it. Yo, Octid Hero, thank you so much, man. Thank you. Whoa, bro. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Where was I? People across Europe, the eastern United States, parts of Western Africa, and even as far as Argentina reported hearing it. Not just through the air, but through their bodies. In the base of the skull, the hollows of the chest or behind the eyes. The sound was felt just as much as it was heard. Entire cities reported the vibrations. Hospitals began to fill. Not from injury, but from confusion. Migraines, tinnitus, bleeding noses. Some began to lose their minds, tormented by a sound they couldn't escape. Others seemed unfazed by the strange phenomenon. A woman in Bordeaux began convulsing and screamed, "I hear it! I hear it! I hear it!" before falling unconscious. At 1:06 a.m. GMT, Dr. Finn watched from the roof of the North Strand Strand? Hang on a second. Is this part of Hideo Kojima's universe? Watched from the roof of the North Strand facility as the light changed again. Not dimmer, not quite. She struggled to name it. Shadows had lost their edges. Buildings looked slightly flattened. Colours were muted, like the world had been submerged in water. She raised her hand and stared at her palm. Veins like rivers on a map. Her skin was paler than before. The hairs on her arms stood up. The drumming continued. Dr. Finn? The man from the Department of Anomalous Phenomena pushed through the steel door behind her. My name is Jonas, ma'am. I've been meaning to speak with you. He paused beside her, eyes turned up towards the dreadful cloud. It swallowed the entire skyline, hiding stars and moon alike. Quite the view, he murmured. What can I do for you, Jonas? She asked, her tone clipped, unwilling to indulge in small talk. You know who I work for? She nodded once, offering him a cigarette from a near-empty pack. No thanks, I quit. Fresh air for me, he laughed awkwardly as Dr. Finn lit up her smoke. They're relocating me, opposite side of the world. Oh, we're not. Hang on 1 second. There we go. I wondered why that worked so well, just straight away. Because we were sharing the screen. Whoops. Ah. They're relocating me, he said. Opposite side of the world. A counterpart facility in the southern hemisphere. They want simultaneous readings, mirrored data sets. Honestly, it feels like I'm just being moved out of the blast zone. He paused for a moment. If this thing is global. If it keeps growing, we need to know if it behaves the same way everywhere. Otherwise, we're flying blind. Finn studying him. The shadows across his face blurred and trembled in the wrong light. So you'll be chasing the other horizon? Something like that. He gave a thin smile, but his eyes stayed locked on the sky. I'll send you everything I find. Maybe between the two of us we'll make sense of it. Her gaze lingered on him a moment longer than she intended. Then she looked back to the cloud. Maybe. The drumming echoed. Low, cavernous, endless. Thump, thump. Thump, thump. Thump, thump. Neither of them spoke after that. The emergency broadcast system went live just after noon. News anchors read pre-written statements. No questions, no speculation. Authorities are aware of the atmospheric anomaly currently positioned over the Atlantic. Remain indoors. Limit direct observation of the phenomenon. Further information will be provided when available. The feeds cut off after 90 seconds. Black screens revealed the concerned reactions of the population. Social media boiled over with conspiracy, prophecy, and fear. A viral clip from New York showed commuters frozen in the middle of an intersection, all exiting their vehicles, staring up at once, dozens of them, like they'd heard a voice. Then some began to cry, others fell to their knees in prayer, all united by the oppression of a complete and total hopelessness. Government helicopters swarmed beneath the cloud like flies drawn to the stench of death. Another clip from a Nigerian cargo ship showed the cloud expanding, spilling outward in curling tendrils. Vast sections of dark mist swirled within the cloud, like black sand in clear water. The crew's final log simply read, "God has returned to us." At 2:42 a.m., Dr. Finn stepped into the soundproof chamber to listen to the unfiltered live feed. She sat in the center of the small white room, strapped on the over-ear monitors, and listened. There it was. Thump, 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 thump. The drumming from the cloud. Clearer now, more spacious, more thoughtful. There were pauses beneath the beats. Pauses long enough to create the illusion it had stopped. Before it came again. She felt it deep in her ribcage, her heart sinking to the aerial phenomenon. The drumming had become a presence, not sound alone, but a tidal force pressing against the earth. Every beat made her stomach lurch as if something vast was stirring within the planet itself. Then, it shifted. The sound broke free of rhythm. A single, elongated groan, wet and guttural, poured from the cloud. It ripped across the atmosphere like thick, viscous liquid, sloshing into every crack or crevice it could find, the ground itself vibrating under the sonic pressure. It was enormous. Impossible. Something malignant, something so vast that its moan reshaped the sky. The pitch was almost beyond hearing, subsonic yet torturously present, low, dragging, reverberating with the weight of mass she could not comprehend. The groan slithered and pulsed like the wet crack of muscle tearing, sinews stretching, a predator yawning across the heavens. Her chest heaved, her stomach twisted, her fingers tingled with the pressure of sound. Her mind screamed against that comprehension. The noise was alive, shapeless yet aware. It hung in the room like a storm that could devour everything, pausing only to let its presence sink further into her bones before dragging itself back into a wet, shuddering growl. She ripped the headphones off, trembling, sweat prickling across her skin. The chamber was silent, but not really. The sound lingered, imprinted on her ribs and skull, crawling through her blood. Was that a voice? The intern monitoring the signal turned to her, pale and crying. No, Dr. Finn whispered. That wasn't a voice. He swallowed. Then what was it? She stood slowly and left the room without speaking another word. The drumming resumed as normal. Project Cerberus Vale, Field Journal entry. Dr. Myreed Finn, Lead Meteorologist, Classified, Level Omega. Day 2, 3:17 AM GMT. Cloud remains stationary. Estimated diameter now exceeds 5,000 kilometers. Audio patterns continue. Rhythmic, biological, possibly vocal. Global symptoms reported. Neurological disruption, auditory hallucinations, emotional volatility. Mass hysteria. Thousands of casualties across different countries. Burst eardrums and internal hemorrhaging. Public unrest increasing. Government control deteriorating. A plan was initiated to obtain a visual of the sound's source. Jonas's team ran 3 LiDAR sweeps from orbit, from a U-2 spy plane, and from a modified weather balloon. Orbital scan returned no depth readings. Not zero, just nothing. As if it struck open air for 1,000 meters and refused to return. Plane scan logged 1 frame of an internal structure. It looked like a bone. A moment later, the image glitched, reloaded, and showed a perfect sphere the size of a mountain. And static. The balloon feed. 20 minutes of telemetry before loss of signal. Internal layers visible. Vibrous. Twitching. Final frame. A shape in the center. Spindled. Elongated. Symmetrical but wrong. Our analysts ran it through edge detection software. The results were disturbing. It resembled a face, but only when you didn't look at it directly. Convergence of lines, folds, and textures that formed something odd. One technician collapsed during image review. Said she felt like it could see her. I saw it too. Just once. It didn't scare me. It just made me feel ashamed. We've locked the files. Project code, Cerberus Veil. Access, visual AI systems only. No human review permitted. Effective immediately. Personal note. Jonas agrees there's something in there. He's gone south into the dark. I don't know when I'll see him again. I think it's stretching. This is good so far. I'm enjoying it. Are you guys enjoying this so far? We're about halfway through. Maybe like 2/5. Let's give my throat a bit of a rest. I don't talk much. I don't talk much when I'm not streaming, so my throat needs a little, a little bit. I should actually do like vocal warm-ups, I think, before stream. La 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 la. Ma 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 ma. I like that it uses weather as horror element. You don't see that often. No, you don't. You don't really. The only movies I can remember doing that were like the ecological disaster movies, which really sucked. Actually, speaking of weather as horror, did you see that even Bill Gates has backed off on climate change as actually being a real threat? Hang on. Let me see if I can find this. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, Bill Gates published an essay saying resources must be shifted away from the battle against climate change. Must increase their investments in other efforts aimed at preventing disease and hunger. Climate change is not going to wipe out humanity, he argued. Yeah, he's like, you know what? All this, the trillions of dollars we dumped into this were actually pointless, and all people that were saying it was going to be pointless were right. So sorry. Haha. Yeah. What a joke. Warm tea and vocal warm-up will pay tremendous dividends. It absolutely will. Maybe I should go make a tea. After we finish this one, I might go make a tea. Make like a lemon tea or something like that if I have the stuff for that. I'm not sure. Weather change is when aneurysm IV is real? What is that? Aneurysm IV. Dystopian simulator, shape a decaying city with no... Oh, you guys keep recommending me this one. And I don't like these kind of games. Never was, especially when the countries that participate in green initiatives produce a fraction of the world's carbon. Yeah, look, that's the thing, right? Here's Bill Gates was like, here's 3 hard truths about climate change. You know what the real hard truth is? If you were serious about climate change, you would nuke China and you would nuke India. That's what you would do. This is it. You squished me? Oh god. It's over. And you would fix up the joke of a recycling industry. Because it doesn't actually even... they ship it over to China and then China just dumps it. Half the stuff we say we get recycled doesn't even get recycled. It's crazy. The whole thing is a scam. Yes, but it helps you feel like a really good person when you have some dog shit paper straws that are worse for the environment than the plastic straws. And aren't even good and taste like garbage. And you're a very good person for putting up with that. Congrats. Anyway, that's enough of that rant. Okay. Phase 3. The arms. Dr. Finn jolted from her sleep, her phone vibrating on a steel table. She'd passed out at a desk. Overworked and exhausted, she grabbed her phone. The screen read Jonas, DAP, the guy who just went to, he's the guy from the SCP Foundation. Finn? Jonas's voice came sharp and urgent. Are you seeing the latest readings? Her pulse quickened. The cloud had been behaving differently. The drumming was heavier, more insistent. Thump, 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 thump. I'm watching. It's intense, but nothing new yet. Thump, 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 thump. Intense? His laugh was bitter. Intense doesn't... How do you do a bitter laugh? Intense? The intense doesn't cover this. The subsonic pulses, every monitoring station on every continent, they're aligning. The underside of this cloud, it's splitting along a straight vertical seam. The satellites caught it just before it closed again. Dr. Finn frowned. That's a tongue twister. Dr. Finn frowned. A seam? Like it's preparing to open, and I don't mean metaphorically. His voice dropped, urgent. There's a pattern in the pulses. Rhythms building. I don't know how else to say this. The drumming, it's a fucking heartbeat, married, and it's getting faster. You need to be ready. Something is happening. Whatever you do, don't go outside. Whatever happens next, it's not just sound. It's alive. Thump, 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 thump. She felt in her chest before she could reply, a vibration deep in bone and blood, the wet resonance of something enormous stirring. Jonas, stay calm, lock yourself in, go to the bunker now. The monitors are there, you can observe. Whatever you do, do not fucking step outside. And the line went dead. A heartbeat later, across the northern hemisphere, a vertical fracture tore through the sky like a wound. It widened with deliberate slowness. Layers of mist peeled back in fleshy folds. Shadows deepened, bending the space around it. A deafening sticky squelch. Why is there a comma there? A deafening sticky squelch like tearing flesh echoed across the hemisphere. Behind it was a darkness that seemed to breathe, vast and unfathomable. A darkness that bent perception. No camera could capture it. No eye on the planet was built to perceive such a biblical event. Without tremor or trumpet, the cloud opened. What lay inside was not lightless, but unknowable. Some said it was a mouth. Some said it was a wound. And from it came the sound again. Louder now. Clearer. Something wet and vast and pulsing. Something impossible. Not breathing. Mooring. Across the world, people looked up in unison. Some screamed, some dropped to their knees. Others stood still and watched, transfixed, as the first of the arms descended. Long, tapering limbs like serpents, oily, black and glistening, emerging from the wound in the sky like slow spirals. Some were hundreds of miles long, others thousands. They swam through the air like they were underwater, languid, elegant, hypnotic. Thousands of them, tens of thousands. They moved across the sky like a nest of worms pouring through a funnel, coiling, searching. One by one, the arms reached down into the earth, slithering through cities, across oceans, over fields. It didn't take long for the first to be taken. A man in Tokyo screamed as an arm squirmed its way around him. His fingers dug into the strange meat as the grip around his waist tightened, pulling him skyward. His cries split the morning air. In a European city, a young couple ran through the streets hand in hand. The woman tripped, an arm twisted around her ankle. Her boyfriend tried to pull her free. The arm retracted, twisting her upwards with such force in his hands that his hands tore away from hers. He fell on his back, begging, only for the arm to return for him. I wish I can hear you. My only headset needs to be charged before I can hear you. In a Venezuelan village, a mother was snatched from her courtyard. Her young daughter clung desperately to her leg, screaming for her mother to come back down. Her tiny hands gripped her mother's ankle in desperation to save her, but the child's fingers could not hold. They were ripped upwards hundreds of feet in a matter of seconds. The mother's body ascended, twisting elegantly like a dancer in midair, but gravity did not forgive the child. She fell, limbs flailing, hair whipping across her face, colliding with the unforgiving earth. The sickening thump echoed across the village. Some were taken screaming. Others laughed, lifted as if ascending into a dark ecstasy. Cultists, convinced of divine favour, threw themselves towards the putrid appendages, arms outstretched, their voices raised in hymns or chants of joy, begging for rapture. The arms took only a few of them with the same cold precision, pulling them upwards as their ecstasy transformed into terror mid-flight. Across continents, people fought, clawed, resisted, but it was futile. Each arm performed the same ritual, one human at a time, spiraling upwards towards the yearning darkness, then returning to the earth for its next selection. Cities became theatres of chaos, streets emptied in seconds, traffic snarled and stalled, windows rattled under the roar of thousands being drawn skyward as humanity unleashed below. Parents clawed for their children, children screamed for their parents. People tried to leap from balconies, bridges, and rooftops only to be grabbed mid-fall, the last moments a tangled dance of terror and limb. In remote fields, farmers and herders watched as the arms swept across the horizon. Livestock scattered, terrified, the ground shaking under them as the thrumming resonance of the arm. One farmer caught a glimpse of his wife being lifted, screaming, crying his name. He tried to run. The arm retracted and she was gone, leaving him kneeling in the mud, screaming into an indifferent sky. Over the first 12 hours, over 40 million were gone, more than the entire population of Canada. By 48 hours, estimates climbed past 90 million, entire nations devoured into the sky. Children, the elderly, the healthy, the sick, criminals, priests, lovers, the lost. The arms moved like a living tide, slow but inexorable, elegant in motion but grotesque in function. Each human was treated as a singular prize, twisted upward toward the infinite, the process horrifyingly meticulous. Dr. Finn watched from the bunker as the monitors flared with the stream of abductions. Faces contorted in panic, joy, or disbelief. She could hear them through the cameras, screams and prayers that layered one upon one another like a living symphony of terror. The arms paused briefly over cities, observing, coiling and uncoiling, their thick veins pulsing. They seemed to savor the fear. Then, with chilling patience, they selected again, dragging the living toward the maw. Over the 52 hours, the northern hemisphere emptied in a relentless, mechanical, almost ritualistic harvest. Every arm returned to repeatedly to the sky's wound, each human plucked and lifted, until the air was thick with the echoes of terror and awe. By the final hour, Dr. Finn could only stare at the screens, numb. The arms paused at last, holding their harvest aloft for a long, silent moment as if counting, observing, savouring. Then they began the slow, deliberate retreat one by one, carrying their captives towards the unknowable darkness that had given them form. Over 4 hours, the sky had closed and survivors emerged from false shelters. The world was left in silence. Only the sound of the drums remained. Thump, 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 thump. Field journal entry. Dr. Mayreed Finn, lead meteorologist. Day 3, 11:11 p.m. GMT. The formation opened. An aperture. Estimated diameter is 3,000 kilometers across. Arms, tongues emerged. Thousands. Movement suggests intelligence, not random. Selection appears non-biological. We can't predict it. I watched them be taken. God forgive me. We tried everything. Interference, signal jamming, sonic weapons. Russia sent a nuke. To hell with the aftermath of that. It didn't go off, it was just swallowed by the cloud. The arms are not affected. The world is hollow. The monitors lie dead, their screens frozen with faces I will never forget. Even the saved recordings failed to convey the scale of what happened. The arms, the screams, the silence that followed. Entire populations, taken with the precision of a surgeon, the cruelty of a predator, the indifference of an animal. 90 million, more, perhaps 100 million, I can't be certain. The Northern Hemisphere is a graveyard with no corpses, and yet the sky is calm. Deceptively calm. The wound is closed. The drum, it continues. Always beneath everything. A low, insistent pulse that will not be ignored. Personal note. I don't know what to do next. Every theory, every model, every calculation is meaningless against this. We are observers of an event. We are its remnants. Survivors only in a technical sense. In every other way, we are gone. There is nothing to fight, nothing to flee, only to record, only to bear witness. And I will, till the end. What else is there to do? Ooh, it's getting mean now. Is this really a creepypasta though? I don't think this is really a creepypasta. Creepypastas are supposed to be like fake real. Unfiction. You know? Like, you know, something that will be posted on like, well, 4chan is where they originated from, right? Creepypasta. But, you know, something that might be real that you stumble upon on 4chan or Reddit or other social media besides these days, I guess, you know. Maybe Facebook. Creepy stuff on Facebook. I haven't heard of that before. That sounds interesting though. Might be fun. LinkedIn. Creepy stuff on LinkedIn. Twitter, Reddit. What are the other big ones? TikTok, Insta, Snapchat, What If, Blogspot, GeoCities, MySpace, Friendster. This one is just a horror story, isn't it? I feel like it's good, I'm enjoying it. But it's like, this is just a horror story. LinkedIn Lost Media Iceberg is insane. Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be funny. Alright. AO3? Oh god. No, there's enough scary stuff on AO3 as it is. Okay. MySpace still kicking? Is it even some MySpace? I don't know. Let's have a look. MySpace. I guess. Does MySpace exist anymore? As of October, the thing, it's like, it's all just like, placed in read-only mode? What the hell? It's like, that's right, it's like more like music based now, isn't it? They shifted focus to music. I don't know. How do you? Where's the? I don't know. I guess people used it. There's no dates on any of these articles, so it's kind of hard to tell. Weird. I like the story, does it hurt when you sleep? That sounds cool. Oh, it's an older one. 10 years ago? Oh, good job, Reddit. Fucking deleting old posts. It's so annoying. Oh, and it was deleted off the Reddit archive too. Okay, cool. I'll have to look that up. I'll look that up. I want to do some, I don't know, something to do with like just reading stuff out. It might be fun. Maybe a fun podcast. Just, that's basically what, that's basically what the Wendigoon podcast is, right? Lost media sucks. Hate losing things I like watching. Paranoid of losing old super best friend play channel. Yeah, it kind of sucks. You know, even the Internet Archive's good, but that's still... It's actually really easy to get stuff taken down from there. There's like legal template emails you can send, and it's like... It's super easy to get stuff taken down from there. If it even gets put up there in the first place, because not every site is guaranteed to be on there. Anyway, so yeah, internet is well, look, so here's the thing, right? Do you know from Lord of the Rings, you know the Palantir? That's that crystal ball they can use to basically see anywhere that they want. Right? And it can also see into the past as well. That company Palantir that does all that crazy tech stuff and is best friends with the government currently. There's rumors that they track down, they're very, very good at tracking down deleted information from social media. Too good. To the point where they probably have their own databases for it. And that's how they dug up stuff. Like there was that guy, there's a recent politician that like it turned out like a Democrat who had like a Nazi tattoo or something like that. That's how they found his account and linked it to him, and it seemed like it was like that was really impossible, but they did it. Where am I going with this? The point is that yes, you might not have access to a database, but that doesn't mean the government doesn't. Everything is forever to the right people. Hey, Necromantic Nail, how are we doing? Hey, okay, Lord, glad to hear you can hear. We are reading some creepypasta. I'm going to take a short break so I can let my throat rest for a minute. We are about 3/5 the way through this one. Let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. Phase 4. The Belch. 1 month and 14 days passed. No arms, no movement from the sky. The cloud remained, hanging impossibly still above the Atlantic like a wound that refused to heal. Oh, hang on, sorry, one sec. Okay. Just had an idea I need to write down. Most nations had abandoned any attempt to engage with it. Some still broadcast official statements, hollow, robotic reassurances, but no one listened. The world had been held in place, breathless, afraid to look up, held hostage by our new god. Cities went dark, markets crashed, faiths fractured, people starved. Millions gathered in open fields, begging to be taken. Millions took their own lives in the face of the inevitable. Others locked their doors and prayed to be forgotten. Dr. Mayreed Finn stayed. She slept inside the bunker beneath the North Strand Climate Facility. She hadn't left in weeks. Others were gone, some taken when the arms descended, some fled, some too broken to continue. She kept her notes, her logs, her rituals of data and control, but every day it grew harder to believe that any of it mattered. Finn's console crackled to life at 3:58 AM GMT. The signal was faint, washed in static, but the voice on the other end was mistakable. "Finn," Jonas said, quick and hushed, like he was afraid the sound itself might carry. "Tell me you're awake." "I'm awake." Her voice was brittle, the syllables clipped. She'd been awake for days. "What is it?" "Hey Brendan, how you doing? Good to see you again." "I've been tracking something," he said. "Pressure readings from the South Atlantic buoy network. They're tanking. Not a storm, not a current shift. It's like the air itself is leaking." "You've said that before." "This is different." His breathing was uneven, shaky. "The drop isn't local. It's global. Everything is bleeding towards the cloud. Not winds. Everything. It's pulling like it's..." He stopped himself and then said it anyway. "Like it's inhaling." Finn exhaled through her nose. "We don't know what it's doing." "I do know," Jonas shot back, voice tightening. "Thought I heard you say my real name for a second, got really spooked." "My heart quit and I somehow made it back, somehow. Still never felt better, it was real bizarre." "Your heart quit? Did you almost die?" "Well, glad you're back then. Goodness gracious. If she said my name right in the first try, most people say Neil instead. It's clearly Nail." "I say it right every time, Necromantic Nail. Come on." "It's hungry, and it's been patient, but..." A low laugh that broke out wasn't joy. "Christ, I can't believe we're even pretending this is still about data." "Not almost. Did. Freaky. Goodness gracious." What's that movie where they kill themselves and come back? Is it like, that movie where they kill themselves and come back? No, not The Happening. Not The Discovery. The Flatliners. Yeah, go watch Flatliners. That's awesome. You're a flatliner now, Brendan. That's awesome. That movie rocked. Persona 3? "Is it?" Jonas snapped. There was a pause before he spoke again. "We're all dead anyway. It's a matter of time before it gets hungry again. And when it does..." He trailed off, static filling the gap. "You've seen the fields. You've seen the ones begging for it to take them. That's not living. That's meat waiting to be picked up. Stop." "Why?" His voice cracked. "You want the truth, Mayreed? There's no stopping it. There's no bargaining. We're not even ants to it. Ants get noticed before they're stepped on. This thing..." He stopped abruptly. The next sound, a hiss in the line. "Jonas?" Silence. She waited another 3 seconds, then set the receiver down, her fingers trembling against the console. She clasped her hands together, lowered her head, and for the first time in her life, she began to pray. She waited. Nothing. At exactly 4:17 AM GMT, 1 month and 14 days since the cloud arrived, the sky opened again. No warning, no signal, Just a sudden shift to the cloud's center, folds drawing back, parting like lips peeling by invisible hands. The drumming was constant, but this time, something new came. The sound began, wet, rolling, like a cauldron of bile tipping somewhere beyond the stratosphere. The pressure dropped. The wind died. Then came a vast, guttural exhalation that seemed to surge from the planet's core and shatter the sky above. A noise like the entire sky dry heaving, viscous and phlegm-soaked. The kind of sound that makes the stomach knot before the ears understand. A single, cataclysmic guttural bellow that cracked the windows in every continent and shattered the upper atmosphere. The ground shook, tides recoiled, and birds fell from the sky. It wasn't just sound, it was force. A pressure wave of wet breath and raw heat, like an open furnace filled with rotting flesh. It swept the globe within minutes. People clutched their heads and screamed as their ears bled. Animals bolted and dropped dead mid-run. Birds fell in flocks. Machines died. Satellites blinked out. Those at the epicenter could only scream as the force burst them into nothingness. Mama says hey too, by the way. She says I should give you 20 bucks. Oh, thank you, Mama. Mama Hull, how you doing? And the smell. A stench so vast, so cellular, it soaked through walls. It crawled into lungs and stayed there. A taste of spoiled meat and copper. People vomited. Others tore at their flesh, trying to escape it. Most were dead within seconds. Then came the blood. Thank you, Brendan. Really appreciate it. You guys are too good to me today. What's going on? Is it because it's Halloween? Is it because it's the time when the barrier between this world and the next is open, so you're nicer? Really appreciate it, guys. I really do. Thank you very much. And then came the blood. From deep within the beast, beyond the gauze and folds of mist, something ruptured. A pressure valve? A gullet? A wound? No one knows. A tidal wave of thick, arterial blood, expelled with such volume and speed that it felt like a monsoon rain over half the globe. Red soaked the oceans and rivers. Red splashed across the rooftops and deserts and jungles. Half the earth painted in blood. It steamed where it landed, hot and thick, and it reeked of iron and something sweet, something wrong. Some thought they heard whispers in the rain. Partly it's a season to share the bounty we got. Winters are harder alone. That's so true, Brendan. So true, and thank you very much. Really appreciate it. The clouds peeled back, and for the first and only time, the being was seen, truly seen. For exactly 93 seconds, the sky was clear. Not in fragments, not distorted. It filled the sky. It was the sky. Its shape defied thought, impossibly symmetrical, yet shifting as though the universe itself was trying and failing to remember it. Its surface was a chaos of textures, pinkish grey membranes that pulsed with a rhythm older than time, bone plate ridges spiralling in geometries our minds could not hold, and spindled nerves that writhed like lightning frozen mid-strike. Each wrinkle, each twitch seemed to hum with awareness, as if the cosmos itself had been stitched into flesh. Its face, or what passed for one, stared down through a million lidless, goat-like eyes. Some were as vast as mountains, some flickered like dying stars, all simultaneously seeing and knowing. Our thoughts recoiled, our vision trembled, and yet we could not look away. Played Repose? No, I haven't. Ever seen Gemini Home Entertainment? Yes, Gemini's goated. And then it did something impossible. It smiled. No teeth, no lips, no gestures that humans could recognize. Just a slow, dreadful unfurling of facial tissue, an imitation of something it had only ever observed in our species, a suggestion of amusement aimed at the futility of existence. The motion folded in of itself in ways that should have torn it apart, yet it held. We felt it not just in our eyes, but in our blood, in our marrow, in the corners of thought we didn't know existed. And then the sky swallowed itself once more. But the memory lingered. Shapes impossible to detach etched themselves in our minds. Geometry that should not exist haunted our dreams, and the faint, impossible smile echoed in every shadow we ever crossed again. Silence fell. Not peace, but silence. And then nothing. No arms, no sound, just the repetition of fear felt through the drum of the cloud. The wind, returning at last. The stench never faded, never fully gone. The red rain soaked into everything. No government spoke publicly again after that. People stopped going outside. Entire towns were found empty, dead. Others worshipped. Others killed themselves. The world waited. Field journal entry. Dr. Mayreed Finn, lead meteorologist. Day 45, 7:02 a.m. It belched. I don't know how else to describe it. It expelled something vast and foul into our atmosphere. Not an attack, not a gesture of dominance. Function. A bodily function. Like it forgot we were here. The sound, I cannot put into words. I felt it in the roots of my teeth, in the gaps between cells. It broke something in the sky, and the smell. The smell is still here, clinging to the vents, to my skin. It soaked its way into the bunker. The blood is everywhere. We've confirmed it's organic, human, and something else. For 93 seconds, it let us see it. I don't think we were supposed to. I don't think it cared. I haven't slept since. I don't believe anyone is left to read this, but I'm still writing. There's no scientific language left for what's happening. This is not an anomaly. This is a presence. This is an extinction event. Well, this is cool so far. This kind of reminds me of... did you guys see the movie Nope? Movie. This is kind of spoilers, but the movie's dog shit anyway, so I kind of don't care. But the thing in that, what do they call it? They call it something dumb. The alien was really cool. There was like a couple of really, really cool scenes in Nope. The alien was really cool looking. And it had something like this where it ate a bunch of people, which is pretty cool. And spat out the blood. But, yeah, most of the movie was really dog shit. Really dog shit. Just go look it up if you want to get spoiled on it. I won't spoil it here. I've played Look Outside. I did play Look Outside for a bit. It feels like a really big game, and I really want to sink some time into it at some point. Doing a Bloodborne stream after work later. That or a Halo marathon. Eldritch Whispers one in the end. Bloodborne's so good. Such a good game. I played it again recently. Start of the year, maybe? Thereabouts. It holds up so well. It's like 10 years old now, isn't it? Bloodborne 2015. That's crazy. It isn't Fallout 4 at the same time? Yeah, Fallout 4 is 2015 as well. That's so crazy. It feels like Fallout 4 was like way later. Well, it was like 6 months later, but still. I never thought of Bloodborne and Fallout 4 as the same. I thought Fallout 4 was like 2019 or something. That's crazy. Maya and me have been delving into Mortal Shell as well. Scratch is similar. I heard Mortal Shell is good. I never played it though. 2015 was good. Yeah, it kind of, well, Bloodborne was really good. Fallout 4 drags it down. Fallout 4 is such a dog shit game. It is horrendous dog shit. And it was when they released Fallout 4 that it became obvious to me that they were never, ever, ever going to make a good game again. Because it took the worst parts of Skyrim and then made them worse. From Skyrim, you could have recovered, because Skyrim, despite being a bad game, there's still something special about Skyrim. Like when you walk out for the first time and you're exploring and that, you're like, wow, there's something about it that no other game has managed to capture properly. And Fallout 4 doesn't quite get it. Not quite. Because the rest of it drags it down so much, I think. And the world is just not as interesting as Skyrim's. And the music isn't as good, and the vibe just isn't there. And at that point, it became obvious that they were never going to make a good game again. And then I never bothered touching Starfield, but nobody has ever said a good word about that. I remember when it came out, people were defending Starfield, and they were criticizing the people making comparison videos. How it's like feature-wise, it's like 1-for-1 worse than all their previous games. They're like, oh, you know, who's that guy that makes those comparison videos? People are like, oh, you know, this guy rotted your brains and whatever. It's like, no, guy's just dog shit. You know the one I mean. You know the one I mean. Starfield's worse than bad. It's dull. That is bad. Skyrim is an adventure. Fallout 4 is a movie interrupted with gunfights. Yeah, and it's a bad movie too. So the thing is, right, I never finished Fallout 4. I could never bring myself to finish it. That's how bad it was. I've tried a few times, but I just can't do it. But I've done a bunch of the side quests and whatnot, because I was trying to find where the good content was. And the writing is occasionally pretty good, but only in side content that has nothing to do with the main content. So, that robot detective, what's his name? The Fallout 4 robot detective. Nick Valentine. He's really good when it's not the main story. When it is the main story, it's like he gets a lobotomy. And that's because there's that one guy that writes the main story. Emil Pagliarillo. Dog shit writer. Horrendous. To the point where it's if you remove him, the game becomes 10 times better. You know, it's pretty rare you can point to a single person, but he's shocking. He's dragging the company down and should be fired immediately. And you can tell when he's writing Nick Valentine, because the writing instantly gets 10 times worse. Has Emil to blame for switching off his brain at crucial moments, for definitely. And it's not even just like, oh, you know, maybe he's dumb in some scenes. The writing is just awful. Like, he's funny. He's written really well in his... I was doing his companion quest, and he's funny. And he's interesting. You know? And he doesn't take shit. And then in the main story, he's just so dull. I could not believe... So the game is so linear that it expects you to have dog meat. And if you just don't meet dog meat in this supposedly open world game, they just force you to have dog meat at a certain point. That's like, no, you need this dog. That's it. It's over. Oh, okay. You know, at one point I got excited while playing because I thought there was going to be a mystery. When you had to find the railroad, and you're following these clues, right? And it's like, oh, you need to figure out the password, and it'll point you to where it goes, right? And when I got the first letter, I'm like, oh, this is actually going to be an interesting quest. And then the first letter is R, and the second letter is A, and I'm like, as soon as I got the second letter, I'm like, oh, the password is fucking railroad, isn't it? What do you know? It's railroad. It's horrendous. The worst possible choice they could have taken in every single situation, they take. You know, even half the side quests are dog shit too, like the Lovecraft side quest is just awful, doesn't make any sense. The ghoul companion doesn't make any sense. Oh, he took a drug to make him a ghoul. Come on. You can come up with a better option than that. You can, like, have it, just have it so that, you know, he went on a bender and he accidentally got ghoulified because he got too drunk and stumbled into a radioactive area. Done. It's the same feeling, but it's way better. Anyway, So bad. So bad. Kind of like the Silver Shroud quest. And like, there are some quests that are like really fun. Because there are people in the studio that actually care and try really hard to make good content. And they're held down by the people in charge. That's why. You know? Little red signs in the password is railroad. It was shocking. Like, some of the things I was shocked at how bad it was. That faction is really mad. Never like that. Yeah, railroad are dog shit in general. Just horrendous. They should have been cut entirely. Fallout 4 feels entirely like a cool setup with inverted payoff, negative payoff. Yeah. Yeah. It was just really bad in general. And I liked the theme park DLC because that was when Bethesda was like, you know what, fuck it. Let's just make it a theme park because it's a theme park. You know what? Don't make any sense. Bethesda is at their best when they don't pretend, when they don't have any pretensions that they're actually making a good game, and they just want to have goofy, dumb fun. That's when they're at their best. And that's why the theme park one was their best one. You know? Desdemonia is a bleeding moron. See, leave every door open at all times. Talk openly in the town center about moving sense in broad daylight. Oh yeah, it was just... It's so dumb. Like, you can't think about any of the plot lines or anything for longer than 5 seconds because they fall apart instantly. You know? Like, you think about like the best quest lines. It's like, you know, Silver Shroud, awesome because it's so stupid. The flying pirate ship, awesome because it's so stupid. Somebody said that Bethesda designs their games by thinking, wouldn't that be cool? And then just jams on that together. And that's true. Like, and sometimes it is, oh, okay, yeah, it is actually cool. They accidentally make things cool, and it's like, well, they try to make a serious game on top of that, and it just doesn't work, you know. So I guess they tried it with Fallout 76 as well. They were like, fuck it, let's just make it a big theme park, and that kind of didn't work either. So that didn't work for other reasons. That was so buggy. That was probably the buggiest game launch in history, right? Fallout 76. But that was so buggy. My friend, I had a mate, he pre-ordered it and then cancelled his pre-order, and even the store was buggy and it just gave him the game. He got his money back and it just gave him, and like the game is permanently on his account. It was so funny. Like that's how buggy it was. Even the store was buggy. Wanted to distill all the Fallout to, hey, wouldn't this be cool? And member berries. Yeah. But the show, I'd forgotten about it until Maya screamed ghoul serum. Oh, ghoul serum. The show is somehow the worst Fallout thing ever made. And that's a really, really low bar. I watched like 3 episodes of it before it made me so sick I couldn't stomach watching any more of it. And frankly, I'm a little disgusted they put it on the West Coast. Because that's going to ruin all the... And the show's entirely canon too, by the way. So, get fucked New Vegas, basically. Oh, I can't... I do kind of want to watch it, though, because I want to see how badly they fuck up the Legion. Because not even people who legitimately played the game understand the Legion. Right? So, I am kind of curious how badly they fuck it up. So, ride your horse towards Nukes Cooper. Yes, this is Risk... I don't know if this is... No, this is Risk of Rain 1 soundtrack, I believe. Yeah, this is the first game soundtrack. I don't have the second game soundtrack. But it wouldn't surprise me if they use that in the second game too. Second game had a banger soundtrack. I'll give them that. The game was okay. Horrendously unbalanced, and they refused to acknowledge that for some reason. But, yeah. Legion adjusted bank. It's L'Enclave level. No, they're not. They're not. They aren't. They are absolutely not. Okay. They aren't the Roman Empire. They're Caesar and his band of marauding thugs. In no world are they the good guys. Oh. Right, okay, let's do this. We'll do this briefly. I don't want to spend too long because I actually want to finish this. No, we'll put a pin in that. We'll put a pin in that. Because I want to finish this creepypasta, and then we'll come back around to why the Legion are secretly the best faction in New Vegas. Okay. because that's a long discussion. Phase 5, afterbirth. It began to harden, not all at once, but gradually, day by day, as the blood congealed under heat and rain. The bright red stains that had covered oceans, cities, forests, darkened, thickened with reddish clots. Then, it began to bond. What had first been described as organic blood now revealed itself to be something more, a precursor, a fluid waiting to become. On the 15th day after the belch, the first major surface scan from what remained of the LEO satellites returned images of a continuous sheet forming across the Atlantic basin. Fibrous, pale, rigid in places, like cooling wax spread across the surface of the Earth. At first it seemed like sediment or ice, but it flexed. Beneath solar radiation, it tightened. Beneath lunar light, it swirled. Seismic equipment registered subtle movement, microscopic contractions, as if it breathed through the crust. The red had become pink-grey. The pink-grey was becoming skin. A skin that now stretched, uninterrupted, from Portugal to the east edge of the Caribbean. The scientists who remained debated this transformation in hushed, mechanical tones. No conclusions were reached. There was no baseline, no comparative models. But Dr. Myreed Finn understood. This was not an invasion. This was not a divine punishment. This was gestation. Earth, or what remained of it, was being blanketed in something alive. Not absorbed, not consumed, prepared. Then, at 8:46 GMT on the 46th day, the cloud moved. It shifted without sound, without storm, without effort. Not blown, not carried, not pulled by gravity. It simply drifted, as if an unseen cord had been cut, as if the process in the west had reached some threshold. It took 6 hours to traverse the ocean, 6 hours of silence. People in Asia and Australia watched it approach, the spiraling gauze blotting out the sky, as if it was swallowing it whole. They had seen the videos. They knew what would come. Still, they watched. Some hoped it would pass. It didn't. At 2:17 local time, the clouds settled above the Indian Ocean. The sky began to open again and the arms began their terrible descent. Field Journal entry. Dr. Myreed Finn, lead meteorologist. Day 46, 11:44 p.m. Final transmission. The blood is not inert. It is a matrix, a forming tissue, something between placenta and cocoon. Still soft in parts, but solidifying. Already 3/4 of the Atlantic seafloor is covered in a single sheet. Our instruments can't pierce it. It's warm. It pulses every 7 minutes. It is alive. The cloud has moved to the Indian Ocean. Initial signs suggest the process is starting again. The same pattern, same altitude, same shape, same silence. I believe this is reproductive behavior, a life cycle. This thing, or system, or entity, is using the atmosphere to sow itself. It does not see us. It does not hear us. It does not need us. We were not chosen. We were not rejected. We were incidentally present. What we thought was an anomaly was a phase, part of something older, larger, maybe 1,000,000 years old, maybe eternal. It doesn't matter. What matters is what's being left behind. A blanket, a membrane, a womb stretched across the earth. There is no rescue coming. There is no top of the food chain. There is only the shape being the clouds, and what it leaves in its wake. I am writing this from a world already half covered in skin, already half dead. Tomorrow, I will step outside and feel it for myself. I want to know if it responds. I want to know if it knows I'm here. Phase 6, the final breath. The surface of the planet is no longer visible. A thick, swirling fog blankets every inhospitable continent, every ocean, rising miles into the sky. It doesn't move with the wind. It ignores the weather. It simply clings dense, luminous, and unnaturally still. Satellite feeds, what few remain, show the same impossible formations above the Earth's surface. Layered mist, spiraling but unmoving. No rotation, no eye, just folds. Just gauze, stacked and suspended. Jonas no longer checks the time. He hasn't for days. His oxygen mask hisses its final, shallow breaths, each one thinner than the last. The generators have gone silent. The lights burn only in intermittent flickers, casting the facility in the pulse of dim, ghost-like hues. Every room is empty. Everyone else is dead. Jonas lies flat on the cold concrete floor, cheek pressed against it, one hand spread wide as if to hold the earth steady. His lips move, forming soundless words, but he stops. He doesn't need words. He only needs to listen. Thump, 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 thump. A heartbeat. It was in the cloud. It was in the sky. Now, it's here. Beneath his bones, inside the crust, deep in the dark belly of the world. Jonas let out a broken laugh that cracked into a sob. His eyes glisten, unfocused, staring at the ceiling as if he could see through it to the sky above. There are two of them now, he whispers, barely audible. The fog outside pulses with a faint, internal light. Not lightning, not fire. Something vascular. Something alive. His throat tightens. His chest is heavy. The hiss of his mask is a thin trickle of air, barely enough to maintain hope. He pulls it away and lets it fall beside him. The silence rushes in. He smiles, weak and delirious, teeth streaked with blood from biting his tongue raw in his sleep. We were the womb. Jonas had never been a religious man. He used to scoff at prayer, at ritual. But now, on the floor of a dying world, the last man standing, a gun trembling in his hand, he mouths the words anyway. Fragments of hymns, half-remembered psalms, apologies to no one. He turns the gun on himself, comforted by the realization it will all be over soon. The fog above glows brighter, its folds pulsing with rhythm, like veins, like lungs. Jonas closes his eyes, the weight of suffocation pressing him into the floor. His last thought is not of escape, not of resistance, only awe. Far beyond the earth, in the silence of space, the first cloud drifts on, searching for the next world. The earth exhales its final breath and becomes something new. Well, that was awesome. We can make videos about it. Yay. That was cool. Irish horror writer. Pitiful Scream, 97. You banged. That was awesome. There's drumming in the clouds. That was great. That was great. I liked it. It's not really creepypasta though, is it? Like it's a horror story. It's a really good horror story. I really liked it. But that's not, I don't know, maybe what the dismemberment, dreams, mental illness, micropasta. What is micropasta? Maybe it's just maybe they just changed it these days, you know. Interesting, a bit boring at first. It had a little bit of a slow build up. What are these? What's going on here? A bit of a slow build up, yeah, but I kind of liked it. Narrated videos. Maybe we can get in the narrated videos list. Wow, gee whiz. Got that. A month ago. 27K? that up later. Story is so small you need a microscope for the shortest pages in the wiki. Who was phone? Kino alert. Kino alert. What's this one? Across the border. Well, they are small. We should read a bunch of these. These sound fun. Yeah. We'll read a bunch of these too. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, I don't want that. I want these. 1,000 morning people. I sleep with my window closed now. How long are these ones? Are these ones whoppers as well? Kinda. So I really liked... I wouldn't mind reading another one of these. Maybe we'll just do a bunch of micropasta. I would recommend Control. Haven't checked out Control / Triangle. I did watch a big long video about Control from, I think it was White Light. White Light Banks. What is this ad? Holy me. Genuinely terrible. Candle Cove AT gets boring after reading it once. I can imagine it would. Candle Cove is like one of the OGs, isn't it? Jesus. I forgot how bad it is to browse the net without an ad blocker. Does Chrome even allow ad blockers? Anyway. Look that up. Chrome. I'm going to write that down right now. Chrome ad. Well, maybe I'll just not use Chrome anymore and just use a different browser for my streaming. Because I use Firefox for myself, but I don't want... You obviously... You don't want to use the same browser when you're doing stream stuff, just in case. So I just used Chrome because it just seemed, because I already had it, because I used it for writing stuff, because you can, it's easier to use Google Docs in that. But this is dog shit experience. Yeah, that was awesome. Really slow burn. Very much inspired by Nope, but better. There were some grammatical errors throughout that I just sort of skipped over because I didn't want to like mention every time I saw it. I think we'd need another reread. See if you can try and find the nanofiction intermission as well. Nanofiction intermission. I'll check that out. I'll write that down. Yeah, that was really cool. We should do this more often, I think. I kind of wanted to do that. I was thinking about doing SCP stories. I was wondering how long it would take to read every single SCP. And even if you're reading like 100 a week, it's going to take years. Because there's like 9,000 or something now. So it would be like just under 2 years if you read like 100 a week, which is an insane amount. They should make a PlayStation 1 graphics game about this one. This one? I don't know if this would be an interesting game. Be a cool, like, short movie, I think. I'd love to... When I get Buku Box from YouTube, I'm just gonna, like, make a whole bunch of horror games. I guess you could do it now anyway. Like with, Shipwreck 64. Why not? The problem is now, it's just, you know, you gotta bet it's gonna get successful. So, have an original article. It was struck down by the wiki guys because they already had a dozen proposals for that slot at the time, and they narrowed it down. Yeah, they tend to do that, especially for the big numbers, you know. But they do full contests for like the really big numbers, like 6,000 or whatever. Yeah, cool, really cool. Really like that. Good job, Pitiful Scream 97. Our 28-year-old friend. Every 1,000 they do it. Yes, they do. I think they're doing a competition for like, I think it's like 9,000 at the moment. SCP 1,000 competition. Maybe it's 8,000. Okay, no. Oh, the SCP 9000 contest just ended like a week ago. SCP 9000 is called The Trench. Is this one of those ones that's actually nice to read? Oh geez, this is pretty long too, actually. I'll read that next time. You know what? We should have a look at that. We should take a crack at that one next time. I'm going to do more readings and stuff too. We have a lot of analog horror to watch, and we have a lot of things to read. We've got a lot of content to cover. I should be streaming more often, huh? Yeah, this is really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's finish up the YouTube video now, but we'll keep streaming for a little bit longer because I want to yell at you guys about the Legion. So, oh, thank you guys very much for listening to some creepypasta. Not really a creepypasta, but just a good old-fashioned classic horror story called "There's Drumming in the Clouds" by Pitiful Scream 97. Now, the link to that will be in the description, so make sure to go check it out and give the author some love. I don't know how you would give someone love on a wiki. Maybe you can like find their socials or something and tell them how awesome their story is. Because I really like this story, and I hope you guys did too. Because I actually really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, so thank you guys very much for watching. You've been watching Mythonics Live, hosted, of course, by More They Doog, and remember, you're never alone in the dark. Okay, now it's time to yell at you guys about the Legion. You're wrong. You're wrong about the Legion. Really good to see you stream. Oh, well, thank you very much for coming in, OK Lord. I was streaming pretty intermittently for a while there because I wasn't feeling very well, but I'm making an effort to stream a lot again. And then straight away this week, there's been a couple of things which have really gotten in the way of streaming. So I don't know. It's tough. We'll figure it out. Any tips for making a Dandy's World analog horror with CapCop and Flipperclip? So I don't know what Dandy's World is, but how you doing, Nessa? Dandy's World, cute Roblox horror game. Let's have a quick look, shall we? Geez, how many tabs do I have open? Dandy's World. The lore of Dandy's World explained. Yes, finally. Okay. Yeah, so what I would do. Thought the stream was ending and I heard you're wrong about the Legion. I knew this was an unskippable cutscene. I need to figure out a way to let you guys know that I'm still going to be streaming but finishing up the recording. I need to figure that out a bit better because I think I see the numbers drop whenever that happens, so I need to figure it out. Okay, so it depends on what you want to, what kind of horror do you want to do, right? So with analog horror, there's the subgenre digital horror, right? And you would like, that's things about games and whatnot. So Herobrine, the classic Herobrine would be considered digital horror, and that is where there's a few ways to do that. You can actually like edit the game files and add different content in. That's pretty difficult. Or you can do screenshots and edit creepy things in. So I think the easiest possible way to do a really quick basic analog horror based around a game is to take a bunch of screenshots and have it like maybe have someone talking over them. Maybe be careful with that. Maybe you just have like it's basically just a slideshow, and then have text on screen. You know, can we do like Google? No, I don't. Hang on, let's go Paint. No, let's go Krita. I use Krita. Wish I could watch, but I'm at my job right now. No worries, Zarathustra. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Got it? Thank you. Yeah. So, look, all you do, right, is you find out whatever analog horror you like, and then steer relentlessly from that, right? If the analog horror you like is... Now, my niece shows me a bunch of the analog horror that she likes, and they're like really basic, just slideshows, just creepy pictures. And like they basically just like go through that, and it's just lore dumps. If that's what you like, then just steer relentlessly from that. You know, make your own bunch of creepy pictures, and then just have a slideshow. Done. And every video editing platform can do that. I'm pretty sure that the first episodes of Mandela catalog were made in CapCut. I'm pretty sure. No, actually, no. There was one. There was one made in CapCut. I don't remember which one it was, but Mandela Catalog, the first one, was entirely made on Alex Kister's phone, so it may as well have been CapCut. If it was using the built-in editing stuff, that's even worse. But yeah, no, you can make really good stuff with really basic tools. So just get whatever series you like, and then get specific parts that you like. So say you're watching Mandela Catalog and you really like the scene where the face appears on the TV, right? Just think, how can I do that? Honestly, it's worth keeping a list of stuff that you like. And so you can just use that for inspiration. But you just think, like, how do I do that? How do I get as close to that as possible? And if you do that, but you do that from like 3 or 4 different analog horror series, then your thing will be more unique because of that. So yeah, just steal as much as possible, and eventually you'll make it your own. So that's how it works. Gotta watch your videos of reacting to analog horror. I hope I don't have nightmares. Look, I love watching analog horror. I really do. I think it's a lot of fun because it's so unique. There's nothing else like it, you know. And a lot of it isn't very good, but that's okay. Because you'll find one gem and it's like, okay, that made the months of really bad analog horror worth it. So good artists borrow, great artists steal. Exactly, Brendan. Exactly. But yeah. You know, the first thing you make is not going to be very good. It's very rare for the very first thing that somebody makes to be good, right? And just accept that and just say, okay, this thing is going to suck. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine if it sucks. You know, put it out there anyway. You'll get feedback. You'll get people telling you what they like and what they don't like. You know, maybe you'll get 100 people saying that it just sucks and it won't be very useful, but you'll get one guy that says, oh, this specific thing isn't very good. Do this instead. And it's like, oh, okay. That's useful. That's useful information. Next time I do it, I can make it way better. That's why I try to be really critical in very specific ways whenever I do analog horror watches, because I want people to improve as much as possible, and I try to help them as much as I can. And I'm not saying that I'm always right. I think I'm right, and you know, maybe I'm wrong about a specific thing, but you know, I try to give very useful feedback because I know it can be hard to get that. So it's an indie night, so there'll be some shit, but every so often you strike gold. Exactly. You know, and that's the thing. You will find things in analog horror that you will just not find anywhere else, and it's awesome. You know, like, it's jaw-droppingly good. You'll often find like really, really good scenes in otherwise terrible series. Like, you don't get that anywhere else. So my paint jobs were trash until I stopped trying and started paying attention to what worked already. Exactly, yeah. Like, the experimentation is useful, but you've got to know the rules before you can break them, is a good way to think about it. So don't worry about... When you're starting out, I think it's okay just to say, like, look, I'm just going to make something... I'm just going to copy the people that do good stuff because it works already. In the first couple of times, I think, you know, just do that. And that's fine. You know, maybe you're not going to win any awards for it, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. And do your twist on it, right? That's why you copy from multiple things, you know? Like, Mandela is just Local 58 with Christianity jammed in there, with Gnosticism jammed in there, and maybe a little bit of like Blair Witch and stuff like that. And ended up really good. I mean, I think it's gone downhill since then, but it's, you know, it started off, it got really good there for a while. So be like the Borg, assimilate. Exactly. Take the good parts and throw away the bad parts. And if you do that every single time, and you look at your old stuff, if you look at, you know, if you make something and then you sit there and you think, okay, what worked and what didn't work, and then you you just do more of the thing that worked and do less of the thing that didn't work, then you get good. Anyway, okay. Now, the Legion. You guys are wrong about the Legion, okay? You're very wrong. I need to just, hang on, I just need to copy this micropasta thing so I have it for next time. And I need this video. Sorry, I just need to copy this stuff down. Pitiful Scream 97, yes. Good, okay. Just close all these tabs. Might be useful to throw out there, but Neon Genesis Evangelion overlaps with horror and would be good horror for anybody who's not Shinji and Co. I've never gotten around to watching that. I've been meaning to, and I just haven't, so. I never thought you were one of the, you get the Legion wrong guys. I've been a staunch defender of the Legion. Well-known staunch defender. Right, so. Here's the thing. Right? Here's the thing to keep in mind. We don't see what it is like, what life is like under the Legion's rule. We don't. We only see the tip of the spear. We only see their army. We only see the absolute worst of them, right? Like, could you imagine if your only opinion of the NCR was seeing them fighting raiders, or just the military, right? And how inept the military is, you know? That's basically what we see of the Legion. We don't see the full story. Or the only thing you see of Mr. House was you just see from outside the fence, and you just see the big scary robots, and that's it. That's all you see. And then you try and judge the entire faction based on that. Well, it doesn't make much sense, does it? Because it's not the full story. Now, one of the very few people who actually are civilians under the Legion that we know of, one is actually Easy Pete, which is pretty funny. But he doesn't give us any clues. The other one is the trader that we meet as soon as you walk into the fort. And he's like, yeah, life under the Legion is great. Like, you know, as long as you don't have chems, as long as you do what you're told, like if they say jump, you don't even ask how high, you just do it. Then you're fine. Like, it's so safe there that traders don't need to walk around with guards. That's how safe it is in Legion territory. That's insane for a post-apocalyptic. And their territory is like roughly the same size as the NCR. Like, that's insane, you know? You can actually tell people's stance in the Legion by how they pronounce a Kaiser. Grade A writing and attention to detail. Oh, it's brilliant, yeah. Yeah, it is. And you're like with Easy Pete, it's like, why do you pronounce Kaiser the right way? How do you do that? Why do you know that? And it adds a lot of interesting things to their character. Sympathy bias, we see starving farmers of the NCR, but not normal people living in Legion cities. Just a horrific soldiers attacking farmers and merchants. Exactly. So the Legion is happy to do anything to achieve their goals. And we know the NCR is too, because we know that there's stories of them bombing the like how they slaughtered, like we see the evidence of their war crimes, and we see their war crimes, you know. So it's not like the NCR doesn't commit war crimes, they just pave it over. They just hide it better. And the Legion are like, yeah, we love war crimes, and the NCR is, we don't like war crimes, wink, you know. And so you have to consider, right? Let's assume we believe the propaganda, right? We believe that each faction, that the Legion is trying to do what they say they're trying to do. And frankly, I think there's no reason not to. But Caesar's goal, he thinks that the NCR is a corrupt, sprawling state that can't govern itself. And he's basically true. We see that over and over again. So he's right about that. And what he wants to do is he wants to cut the head off the NCR and take it over with the Legion. So you can assume that means that he's going to impose the same rules on the body, the civilians of the NCR, that he has on his own people that are under Legion rule. And as far as we can tell, that's a lot better and a lot more functional than life under the NCR. The problem does come from if he actually is planning to do that or not, and that's, you know, that's a different discussion, but as far as we can tell, he's already doing it, and it's going pretty well. The problem lays in if he dies, then you just have the mindless soldiers take over. Lanius is really smart, but he's still a killing machine. Like, he exists to kill things. And the only reason you can talk him out of killing everybody in Vegas is because he realizes he won't be able to kill people fast enough. You know. So player-specific sympathy as the NCR came out of Shady Sands from the first game. Yeah. Don't even really find out the ending slides are the sounding. No, we don't really. Whereas you look at the NCR, they can't even govern at the moment, right? What would life in Vegas look like under the NCR? We see it. It's hilariously inept. Without you going around fixing everybody's problems, the place is going to collapse sooner or later anyway. The NCR is specifically written as a shambling giant who only survives by conquering more territory. The Legion is similar, but at least they can govern their own lands, you know? The NCR is in the brink of collapsing, right? Like, they don't have a major leader because it doesn't matter, because they're all just, you know, these corrupt groups, you know, just taking whatever slice of the pie they can. Dog piss with a side of mothballs, bureau bloat is real. Exactly, yeah. So, for the average person, the best life will be under the Legion. That's sort of a fact. Because they're going to clean up crime, clean up corruption. As far as we can tell, they're going to do that. And they're going to kill the people that are... Because the NCR is specifically written to imply that they're just the same government as pre-war America. The exact same thing over again, and it's just going to end the same way. Legion is something different. They're trying something different. They reach back further in time to do it, and, you know, maybe that's a mistake in of itself, but they're trying something different. So the vast majority of criticisms about the Legion apply just to the military wing, and that's not what the nation is of itself. So, like, they're sexist. Well, that's just the military. You know, they capture slaves and they rape the women. Yes, that's just the military to fuel the military machine. And you can say that, well, you shouldn't want a nation based on that. And it's like, well, they're just openly very practical about it. They're not trying to hide their sins in that regard. They have a specific goal and they're doing whatever they can to achieve it. And at the end of the day, there's going to be horrible things committed in the wasteland. There is nobody who isn't committing horrible crimes there. They're just not. So you have to choose which one has the best outcome at the end of the day. The Legion are just not hiding their crimes. They're not pretending it's not happening like the NCR and House do. You know? Thanks for coming in, Will Skeleton. Really appreciate it. We're probably gonna wrap up soon anyway, so. A stopgap that works, but could it be applied to Wirescarby on the core of Caesar's turf? Because we get wires crossed and dogs do work as intended. Do you mean like the Legion's turf? We know life is really dog shit outside of the civilization, outside of NCR, Legion, and House. It's horrendous dog shit. It's tribals, right? It's Stone Age. We see that in Honest Hearts. That's basically what all life is outside of it, you know? I'm not even counting Fallout 3. That game's horrendous. I don't count it as canon. But no, yeah, your House is the best case scenario where Vegas is concerned, but only where Vegas is concerned. Beyond the city wall, everyone is host. Basically, yeah. House is great for you personally. If you're just considering yourself and maybe your personal family, then House is the best, right? If you're considering humanity as a whole, then Legion is best. That's always been my opinion. And none of the criticisms of Legion have ever really rung true to me because it's people just seem to misunderstand it. It's like they're slavers. Well, you know, these people, this is the same people that complain about, you know, how capitalism is slavery anyway. It's like, well, what do you think NCR is? They're like a capitalist shambling monster. That can't even, if they could govern themselves, it'd be something different, but they can't. It's just a mess. It's an absolute mess. For the average person, Legion is the best. Just straight up. And that's how it is, guys. That's how it is. Alright, we might wrap up here because my throat is actually starting to give out a bit. It's starting to hurt. But thank you guys for coming in. So there won't be a stream tomorrow. Usually I would do a stream, but I have a family event that's really important, and I don't know when that'll be finished. So it starts basically the same time my stream time is. So it's like, well, I can't. I don't know if I'll be able to get, even if it finishes quickly, I won't be able to get back in time. So maybe I'll try and do extra streams next week. We'll see how we go. I do have a lot of stuff happening. It's busy lately. But yes, thank you guys very much for coming in. You've been watching Mythonics Live, hosted by More They Do. And remember, you're never alone in the dark.